Kana Shalom. I want to start off with giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, YASHAMIAHLA, YASHAMIAHLA, the bonus Israel, son of Apostle of Great Muslim. Shalom to the Falek. Hope this video will be edifying. And let's get into it. So, this is Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? You see, and thing is, when you check out how these people operate, for example, you have the whole World Cup going on right now, right? You have the whole World Cup going on. And in the Netherlands here, you have these Jacob descendants, right? These Jakes, they, instead of playing for the country where they got taken from, right? So, well, not taken from, but put, you know? So, for example, Suriname or Curaçao or whatever, even though it's not our land, those are still majority of the people in that land are our people, and it represents our people, right? Well, most of these Jakes, they rather play for the Netherlands, for example. They rather play for the Netherlands, and then guess what? When they start losing, or you know, when shit hits the fan, basically, then you have, of course, you have these Edomites. They quick to blame Jake. They quick to blame Jake and say, yeah, these monkeys and stuff like that, that's the reason why we lost. And they put a bunch of hate comments on these Jakes, their posts that missed the penalties, basically. But Jake, what do you expect? You know, you playing for the same people that enslaved your people, right? You playing for them, blood, sweat, and tears. You play for them, and you respect some kind of love. Hey, you only a Dutchman when it's going good, but as soon as things are going bad, then you a nigga. You know? Then you're a monkey and all these kind of words, right? But Jake doesn't listen. Jake doesn't learn. You know? It was better that they played for their country, so-called country, right? Curaçao or Suriname or whatever. And they probably would have made it far if every Jake did that. But every Jake doesn't have that mentality, man. Most of them still have that coon mentality to play for, you know, these Edomites, basically. Because but also they pay good. So Jake quick for that money. You know, Jake rather goes after that money and stuff like that, but they don't want to also get the cons of that hatred if things go bad, or being that scapegoat, because that's what happens, man. Even in England. Same shit, same scenario, man. When things go bad, you know, then they blame these so-called African English players that play for England. Meanwhile, they the reason England is even going that far, or even went that far. You see, but that's Esau, Edom for you. Never trust your enemy. Scripture says it. Jake doesn't listen, though. Verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his hairs reach unto the clouds, which is talking about Esau, Edom, setting up his satellites, right? He might seem great, or he might seem so good and so high, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Right? Because the same way how he exalts himself is the same way how quick the Most High will put him down. Verse 8, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as the vision of the night. Quoting with that, please upon that is Isaiah 14, verse 9. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, they're gonna be exterminated. Verse 10, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods. You know, for example, you can see that with that BLM, so-called Black Lives Matter movement, as all these kind of movements that Esau Edom is funding now. They wanna act like they care and stuff like that. Meanwhile, they don't, man. Even basically the corporation that's behind the national team of the Netherlands, so the KNVB, the KNVB, they say, yeah, they reporting people that made these racist remarks towards our players and stuff like that. But they ain't gonna do shit about it, man. It's all bullshit. They ain't gonna do shit about it. You know, because it's Jake. You know, they ain't gonna do shit about it, man. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all just talk. You know? Scripture says what? Though his mouth is sweeter than honey, but war was in his heart, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So it says, verse 11, his bones are full of the sin of his youth. We shall lie down with him in the dust, right? Because as soon as they are born, they are wicked, they lie, they are just bad, man. You know, you can never trust them. Salakia, hold on. So yeah, as soon as they born, man. As soon as they are born, they lie. You know, they deceive. They take advantage. You know, and they might look docile. They might look docile, just like Jeffrey Dahmer, for example. He looks docile as hell, but he was a complete demon, man. Well, same with that Epstein, that dude Epstein. You know, he looks docile as hell, but you already know and hear and see. Those are only the things that they say he does, or those are only the things that are public. Imagine the things that are not public that he did. You know, so showing you that as well. They gotta go, man. These people are disgusting. They gotta go. Verse 13, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned, it is the gall of asp within him. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. And how did he swallow down riches? Because rape, rob, and murder everywhere he went. You know, steal, rape, rob, murder, plunder everywhere he went, man. You know, and thinking he gonna get away with it. He shall vomit them up again, because why? The Most High gonna give him basically a punch, man. The Most High gonna put them in a situation where they have no other choice but give everything up, man, that they work so hard for, that they treasure, the treasures, all the treasures that they have. It says Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly, right? He shall suck the poison of asp, the viper's stung shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the flood. So continuing on, because it cut off. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. right? So he's not gonna prosper anymore. The Esau Edom, the so-called white man, they won't prosper anymore. They're gonna go into slavery, and after 1,000 years, they're gonna be exterminated. Verse 18: That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. Right? All those riches that he worked so hard for to get, that new world order that he's pushing towards, all that, and he still ain't gonna be able to reap the works of his labor, basically. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he had oppressed and had forsaken the poor, because he had finally taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired, right? So what he sowed is what he gonna reap. What Esau Edom sowed, that's what he's gonna reap. Now he sowed a bunch of rape, rob, and murder. So what do you think what do you think that he is going to reap? Huh. He ain't gonna reap nothing good, man. Judgment is coming his way. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, YASHAMIAHLA, the monster else, and apostle of great Muslim Shalom to